On a dark and stormy night, a young man named Jake found himself driving alone on a desolate country road. The wind howled through the trees, and the rain lashed against his car, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. He was on his way home from a late-night gathering with friends, regretting the decision to take the less-traveled route through the woods. As Jake drove cautiously, the headlights of his car illuminated the eerie surroundings, casting elongated shadows that seemed to dance menacingly in the storm. His heart raced, and a chill ran down his spine as he noticed something peculiar in the distance. A figure, barely visible through the rain, stood motionless at the side of the road. As he approached, he could see that it was a woman, soaked through and shivering. Concerned for her safety, he pulled over and rolled down his window just enough to hear her voice over the relentless rain. "Please, help me," she whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "My car broke down, and I've been waiting here for hours. I'm lost, and I don't know what to do." Feeling sympathy for the stranded woman, Jake hesitated for a moment before deciding to offer her a ride. He unlocked the passenger door, and she climbed in, water dripping from her clothes onto the car's upholstery. Her face was obscured by the shadows, making it hard for Jake to see her clearly. As they continued down the lonely road, Jake noticed that the woman's behavior was odd. She seemed anxious and fidgety, and every now and then, he thought he heard her mutter strange, incomprehensible words under her breath. The unease within him grew, but he tried to dismiss it as the product of the eerie night. Suddenly, without warning, the woman let out a blood-curdling scream that pierced through the roar of the rain. She turned to face Jake, revealing eyes that glowed with an unnatural intensity, sending shivers down his spine. Terrified and disoriented, Jake slammed on the brakes and brought the car to a screeching halt. He demanded an explanation, but the woman's voice had transformed into a guttural growl. The shadows inside the car seemed to come alive, closing in around them, and the headlights flickered before dying out completely. Feeling a growing sense of dread, Jake fumbled for his phone to call for help, only to find that there was no signal in this remote area. Panic set in as he realized the severity of the situation. He was stranded with a mysterious and malevolent presence in his car. In the darkness, the woman lunged at him with inhuman speed, her teeth bared and her face contorted into a sinister grin. Jake's survival instinct kicked in, and he managed to push her away and fling himself out of the car. He stumbled into the muddy ditch beside the road, heart pounding in his chest. As he gathered his wits, he saw the woman standing by his car, her body contorting in unnatural ways, almost as if she wasn't entirely human. She let out a haunting cackle that echoed through the night, chilling him to the bone. Terrified and desperate, Jake fled into the woods, running blindly through the rain-soaked underbrush. The sound of his footsteps seemed to be accompanied by another set of footfalls, following close behind him. The dark forest swallowed him whole, leaving him disoriented and trapped in its tangled embrace. Jake's desperate escape lasted for what felt like an eternity, until he finally stumbled upon a lonely cabin hidden among the trees. He banged on the door, pleading for help, and a kind old man opened it. Jake's words tumbled out incoherently as he tried to explain what had happened. The old man listened patiently, then nodded with a knowing look. "You've encountered the malevolent spirit of the woods," he said. "She preys on lost souls, luring them in with her deceptive appearance before revealing her true form. But you're lucky to have escaped." With a trembling voice, Jake asked how he could protect himself from the vengeful spirit. The old man handed him a small, weathered amulet and offered some advice. "Wear this amulet," he said. "It will ward off evil spirits and keep you safe. But remember, the woods can be treacherous at night, especially during storms. Avoid traveling alone, and never, under any circumstances, pick up a stranger on these roads." Jake heeded the old man's advice, holding onto the amulet like a lifeline as he made his way back to civilization. From that night on, he avoided that desolate road and the woods that harbored malevolent spirits. The memory of that terrifying encounter haunted him, a reminder of the dangers that lurked in the darkness of the night. And he never forgot the unsettling truth that sometimes the scariest things in life are the ones we can't see until it's too late.